Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. Welcome here, and thank you to the EuroPython organization for choosing this talk. I am Ramón Corominas. I think my presentation is here, isn't it? I'm not sure. But let me disable the mouse pointer, because if not, maybe it is there in the screen. Okay, my name is Ramón Corominas. I am an accessibility consultant, and I have very low vision. I am almost blind. I can see shapes, but not very much. So I use a screen reader that is called NVDA. And NVDA is much more than a screen reader. NVDA is an open source screen reader made in Python. It stands for non-visual desktop access, and specifically, this screen reader is made in Python 3.11 since version 2024, okay? The core of NVDA is Python and some DLLs made in C++. It is for performance reasons and also for low-level access to the system. And the add-on system is made in Python, and you have global or app-specific add-ons. I will explain this later. It is packed with Py2.exe, so it has some specific issues related to how we import external libraries in it. We have to patch them sometimes. And it has built-in the standard library of Python, so we can use it almost entirely in our scripts. The graphical user interface is made in the WXPython, so we can also use this library for our interfaces. And to install NVDA, you can download it from here, nvaccess.org/download. And then you have to choose if you want to install it in the system or if you want a portable copy. If you install it, you have also access, for example, to the login screen. With the portable version, you don't have that option, but for you, for what I will explain today, it is not necessary. You can go with a portable version and do everything here. Then you have to choose the keyboard layout. I always use the laptop configuration, because the desktop is just if you have the numpad keyboard in the side, but the laptop works always. And then you have to select the modifier key for NVDA. It is used for the shortcuts and for other things. In this case, I usually, in the laptop setup, I choose the caps lock key, but the insert key will also work in this case. Then, when we have this installed, we have an icon in the notification area, and you can also press NVDA +N, in this case insert +N, to show the main menu with the preferences, tools, and so on, okay? And the main key for those that are a bit bored of the speech or that don't want to use it, it's NVDA+Q to exit or restart NVDA. NVDA has a Python console integrated in it, so this is the first utility of having NVDA running in the background. If I press this combination, Control Insert Z, in this case, I have this Python console. I don't know if the font size is enough, but anyway, for example, I can use some, I have an autocomplete. So, for example, you see there the full path to the current directory. The OS module is already loaded, so I don't need even to load it. There are some modules that are preloaded in this Python console. Okay, now let's configure NVDA for sighted users, because you probably don't want the speech synthesis. I had it here. Here, okay. You can hear my screen reader. This speech synthesis, probably you don't want it, so you can disable it or just change the volume or whatever. Okay? I will explain this now. Let me check. Okay, aquí. I'm not sure that okay, here. Okay, some settings. The general start after logging. This will start NVDA whenever you start Windows, so it will be in the background for you to use in any time. The general play sounds on start exit. NVDA plays a sound like ti-ti-ti-ti and ti-ti-ti-ti when it stops, so you can disable them if you want. And this is the main topic in this slide. You can set the volume to 0 in the options of speech, or just press NVDA plus S to disable temporarily the speech, or to let it disable forever. But the NVDA will work anyway. Even if you don't have a speech, NVDA is working in the background. The browse mode. Browse mode is a special mode that all the screen readers have. It is to use the keyboard to navigate through a web page, for example, to press H for headings, B for buttons, E for edit fields, and so on. So in browse mode, the keyboard is captured by the screen reader. So you probably want to disable this option, because if not, you will find some strange behaviors when you try to navigate in a normal way. Okay, because the keyboard is captured, and for example, the arrow keys don't work the same, the space key don't work the same. So with this option disabled, you will have the normal behavior without a screen reader. And finally, in the advanced settings, you can enable this scratchpad directory. It is a playground, so you can create your code to test it before you create a real add-on. But anyway, even if in testing, you can use this scratchpad. I have a lot of things in my scratchpad directory that will never be an add-on that work whenever I have NVDA in my system. That is always, basically. Okay, so let's create some NVDA add-ons, but before that, I will talk about some key concepts. The add-ons versus Scratchpad, I said that the Scratchpad is a playground, and it's like a more or less a special kind of add-on that doesn't need a manifest. For example, any add-on needs a manifest, needs some variables, needs the name of the author, other things. And in a real add-on, you can also do internationalization. So if a user downloads your add-on and is using another language, if this language is in the internationalization, this add-on will switch directly to that language. In the Scratchpad, you cannot do that. The add-ons are basically modules or packages or normal packages of Python with this init.py. It depends on what we need. And we have two main types of add-ons. There are others, but I will talk about this, because the others are more specific for blind people. The global plugins are system-wide, so they will work in any window or in any place of Windows, the shortcuts that I will create and so on. Or they can be app-specific and only attached to a specific app. For example, if I launch Chrome, I can attach an add-on for Chrome, only for Chrome, and this shortcut will only work in that. One add-on is really one or more of the above. You can mix together app modules and global plugins, but usually only one of them is included in an add-on. But in principle, you could do that. And a note about coding style, in the NVDA project and in the NVDA add-ons, usually we use tabs, we use camel case, and we use double quotes, just because of accessibility, because it is easier to read one tab, two tabs, three tabs, than reading 4 spaces, or 8 spaces, 12 spaces, and so on. And the camel case is read as it is, and the snake case is read snake underscore case, so it is more verbose and it is more noise. So this is a global plugin. It is very simple. You only have to import the required libraries. In this case, I import the tones libraries to do the beep. And I import the handler, and I create a class that inherits from the global plugin class. And this add-on will be loaded whenever NVDA starts. And it will be terminated whenever NVDA is exited or restarted. So if I show you here, I will restart NVDA, and you will see how these tones I will restart. So first you will hear the terminate, and then you will hear the restart, the new start, the new tone. ¿Ahí? Bueno, no suena. It is not sounding. What happens? The sound is off? Or maybe I switch it off. Maybe I switch it off. Okay, I am a bit stupid. I put NVDA in silence, so I could not hear it. Okay. Okay, now I will restart.
Exit NVDA dialog. What will you? Restart.
Restart. So you will hear the terminate. And you hear again NVDA. Okay. Okay, this is an app module. This is a specific module for Notepad. So I use notepad.py, the same name as the executable file. In this case, since it is a plugin, an add-on for the Notepad, you will see that if I now start the Notepad, you will hear the beep in the start, and when I close it, I can now do whatever I want, and when I close it, it sounds the other sound, okay? Okay. 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 Demo. Okay. Now with more interesting things. Gesture-based scripts. For this, I will use methods that are called script underscore and then the action name, that it can be any text. I will use the add script decorator that admits 3 optional parameters. First is the gesture, the keyboard gesture. In this case, I have there the Shift NVDA plus key. Then I have the description. This it is what does this script. This is for when I activate the help in NVDA. And the category within the dialog of input preferences, so I can, if I don't like this shortcut or if it interferes with another shortcut, then I can change it in this dialog, so it is configurable in this dialog. And I also have one function that is getLastScript_count that reads multiple key presses, and I can do things when I press the key more than once. In this case, the play sounds. Okay, I have a built-in function that is called nwave to play these WAV files. So this is a very simple function just to play the sounds when I pass a text. And here is the add-on itself. I import the global plugins and so on, and then assign a keyboard gesture. In this case, I have put Ctrl+Shift+1 and Ctrl+Shift+2. So if I press here Ctrl+Shift+1, I win. If I press Ctrl+Shift+2, I lose. Okay? So this is a very simple script that just plays a sound here. Okay? Very simple. Speech mode, talk. Okay. 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 In this case, I open a web page with the, I don't have internet connection. I didn't remember to connect, so you will not see this, but anyway, this is a simple script to use the web browser module that is included in the standard library, and in principle, here I am opening a fixed URL, but in principle I could use any, let me check if I can do it. Anyway, I will do it. If it doesn't work, it's because I don't have internet connection, okay? So, yes, it doesn't work, but you can see that it has launched Firefox to open the EuroPython program, but I don't have it, I don't have connection here. Yeah. Servidor no encontrado, claro. Okay. Anyway, I follow. The Windows application DOM, the API of NVDA allows us to traverse the object tree of Windows, more or less like the DOM in JavaScript in web pages. So we have this object tree, we have many functions for this. The API getForeground object, for example, is the window of the current application that is in the foreground. The getFocus object will point to the object, to the specific object that has the focus in this moment, for example, a button, an edit field, or whatever, or a link. We can use parent, children, we have also child count, we have also focus ancestors, we have many functions to traverse through the DOM. And we can also access properties and methods of these objects. Remember that these are the native objects of Windows. Okay, all of this is in the NVDA core to access low level to the system. We have, for example, role, name, states. We can access all of these properties and do things with this. This is like in the DOM, for example, accessing to the role of the components of a web page and so on. And we can also perform actions, for example, set focus to a specific object, or to do the default action in a button, which will be a click. So with this, you can imagine that you can also automate your own scripts to perform actions in native applications, not only in a web page, but also in specific applications of Windows. And we can also handle the clipboard. We can do many other things, but I will use this example because I will put an example of how to use this for our script. We have the get clip data and the copy to clip, so we have the get and set the clipboard. In this case, switch to Visual Studio Code with a key. We use the API getForeground object to check the name of the application that I have in this case. If it is code, I know that I am already in code. If it is not, I go to the desktop object. The root object of Windows is the desktop, and the children of the desktop are the windows of the applications. Okay, so I check the names of those windows. If I find code, I use the set focus to go there. And if I cannot find a window that is named code, then that code is not open, and then I do nothing, or I give a message saying I couldn't find it. So if I press here it should switch. I think I did it well. It is working. Oh my God. Okay, so it went to my code, and I have another one to switch again to my Firefox. In this case, the other one I will not show here, but also checks the title of the Firefox window, so I go always to my slides. Okay, in this case, this is the most complex example that I have here. I will read the title and the URL of the current web page. This is for Firefox in this case. So when I read this, anyway, I don't have internet, but I will do my best. I can read with the API get foreground object, I get the name of the window, that is the title. In the case of Firefox, it is the title. So I have to take out the part that ends Mozilla Firefox to let alone the title. And for the URL, we use this tree interceptor, that is another object of the API of NVDA that allows us to get information, in this case, the URL. And we clean the URL, and then we have the gesture. This is very simple. You already have seen this. And if the URL cannot be found, then I do nothing, or I give a message telling that I couldn't find it. So in this case, I use match case. Remember that we are in 3.11, so we have obviously match case. And reading the number of key presses, I can copy the URL in different formats. And in this case, as it is, any of these scripts, I mean, if I press once, only the first one will be executed. But if I press twice, the first one will be executed because it is executed immediately with the first key press, the second one, the third one. So you will hear the sounds. Okay, if I go here. Okay, even if I am here, you will see. I don't know why it is reading in Spanish, but anyway.
Voice Latin American, voice American English.
Okay, American English. Okay. If I press here once.
URL copied. New title of URL copied.
Twice.
New copied. Markdown with title of URL.
Okay, so
new copied.
You can see that I can press once, twice, or whatever, and any of them, I mean, all of them will be executed
One screen
in
reader
sequence.
rule.
Great. Okay. And finally, this is my last part, reacting to events. I can also react to events in the system. In this case, I will use methods that are called event underscore and the name of the event. In this case, the events are predefined in Windows. And usually these events will receive two arguments that are the object that files the event and a next handler function that is used to propagate the event to other handlers that I can have in other scripts or in other global plugins or in other parts of the system. Useful event handlers, for example, we have the name change, value change, state change. For example, if I am writing in an input, the value change will fire whenever the value of the input changes. If I change the title of a window, for example, when I move in Firefox to another URL, the title will change and the name change of that window will fire in that place. The gain focus and lose focus, the same as focus and blur in JavaScript. And foreground, focus enter, focus exited, this is for Windows, when a window takes the foreground, when the focus enters inside a window or whatever. And in this case, I have an application that will fire the gain focus event whenever I change from file to file. In this case, I can move in my Explorer to the different WAPs that I have in a folder. I will show you this now. In this case, the implementation of the get focused item is not important for this, but you see that the game focus will be fired whenever I change file, and I detect the role, the type of element, because I don't want to take into account any focus change, because there can be many parts in the Explorer that are not the files in this case. Okay, so if I go to my folder, to my, okay.
Auto assist.
Okay.
Flowers 2 of 2. Audio 1 of 2. C colon X1.
You see that?
Speech mode on dash
I
command.
will switch the, if I change, okay, the game focus is just executing my script. Okay. Maybe I can recover my, okay. Okay, and this is my last example. This is just an example of how I can use an external library, in this case the Win magnification library. This is the normal way of importing a library from a specific directory. And here I have the app switch detection, in this case I don't remember, event app module gain focus and app module lose focus. So if I open Google Chrome, then you will see that when Google Chrome is loaded, it is in inverted colors, and if I switch, okay, I have my slides here. I put it in the middle of the screen, so you can see that now Google Chrome is in normal colors, but if I Alt-Tab to Google Chrome, sorry, this is Google Chrome. Okay, now I think it is seen, no? It went out and out, but yeah, we saw it. Okay, so if I go here, it switches to inverted. And here, okay, let me check, okay. And for example, I have here an example of an add-on that I am developing that is a magnifier tool, okay. In this case, I can even use my mouse, okay. So this is a magnification tool using this magnification API, and for example, I have also, if I go to my, the last demo, it is just that I can use my, okay, these are some photos of flowers. I think it is full color, isn't it? Okay, so I have here, for you to see, an example of a WX Python dialog that is to change the screen colors. I can use inverted colors. I can use it to put it in Deuteranopia or Protanopia. These are different problems for colorblind people, okay? So you will see how the colors change. But remember that when I change here the colors, for example, I will put it again in inverted colors, this is affecting all the system, because this is also for my presentation, for example, and so on, okay? Okay. So this is more or less what I tried to show you now, okay? The magnification. I have, for example, a favorite folder add-on that I use a lot, that it is my favorite folders are here, so I can go directly to any of them. Scratchpad, for example, I can go there directly in my Explorer. There are, for example, add-ons for searching directly with different things. I can type here and go to a search. So, as you can see, there are lots of possibilities here. Oh. Excuse me? It froze. It's rotating. But is it okay? There's a wheel rotating. Oh. Now? Okay. My almost last slide. This is some resources that you can search. You have the NVDA development guide, so you can learn how to develop for NVDA, even for the core. The NVDA add-on development guide is specific for the add-ons. The add-on template is a repository where you have some VS Code settings for autocomplete and these kind of things. There is the add-on store built in NVDA. You have an add-on store. In the tools, I have this add-on store where you have access to a lot of add-ons. I have some of them already installed, some of them disabled, and so on. But there you can go to the different repositories so you can learn from that code to develop your own. And there is another, in addition, there is an add-ons mailing list where you will find many developers that can help you to develop your add-ons. And there is an official users list for users of NVDA that you can learn also if you want to develop add-ons for blind people. And if you speak Spanish, you can go to la comunidad de en español, de NVDA en español, nvda.es, nvda.es, y allí también hay un montón de desarrolladores que os pueden ayudar. Okay? There are a lot of developers that can help you. So, I invite you to join the fellowship. Also, orgs can do great tools. So, thank you very much, and see you soon. I don't know if there's time for questions.
Thank you, Ramon, so much for the talk. It was very informative. Unfortunately, we have ran out of time for Q&A, so we'll have to break now for lunch, and maybe outside the session you can connect with him if you have any questions. But thank you all for joining us for this session and talk. Thank you so much.